Thursday. Every day will be Friday, no. We got just to celebrate, oh. Like saying now you're Friday, no. My baby in one day. Breakfast on the jet, you know. Cruising, that's reject, oh. That day, not today, you know. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh. More cash, more babes, oh. More cars. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh. More cash, more babes, oh. More cars. And they be shine like, oh, 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 oh. Yeah, oh, oh, oh. Give me that, oh.
Hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Nzali, and this is Nzali Takes Africa. Thank y'all for coming on in. Some of you are watching live, some of you will catch the replay, but nonetheless, you are still here with me. I am going live on my YouTube channel, which is Nzali Takes Africa, same as on Instagram. So I'm trying to stay consistent, y'all. And because I had not posted the Young, Famous, and African episode 5 and 6 review, I was like, wait a minute now. Let me just go live so that I don't have to record, then download, then upload. Let me just go live and do it. And since I'm going live, I might as well also go live on Instagram. So it's killing two birds with one stone. So yes, today, we are reviewing Young, Famous, and African Season 3, Episodes 5 and 6. If you have not already, if you're watching me on YouTube, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're on my Instagram, you can still like the Instagram live, leave some comments. I'll be checking both just to see who's in the room. All right, y'all. Whew. This season, let me just start with that. This season has actually been really, really good. I've enjoyed the storylines. One critique, though, my one critique for this season for Young, Famous, and African is just being able to see the artist do a little bit more of like their work, right? Because we got a lot of, artificial meetups to talk about how everybody's feeling about everybody, but we don't have a lot of like, oh, let's see this person in the studio, or let's see, I know that like Zari has a lot of brand deals and stuff like that. So like, oh, let's see Zari's brand deals, or let's see Luis doing his modeling and his acting and producing and all that kind of stuff. Let's see any in, one of her productions for Nollywood. Like, I would like to see a little bit more of that, but I think as the seasons go, and I'm praying that the seasons continue, that we will see more of that. So yeah, this season has been a ride, honey. So episode 5 and 6 nonetheless is continuing that roller coaster ride. So we're gonna pick up right where we left off. Episode 5, Nadia has left the party because everybody in the party is gaslighting her. Hi, Nazur on Instagram. Yes, the season is worth watching. And I hope you heard your song at the beginning of my YouTube video. If you haven't gone over to YouTube, look at Nzali Takes Africa. I always play your songs at the beginning of my video. But nonetheless, so yeah, we kick off episode 5. Nadia has left the party because remember, she asked Diamond, what is his situation with Fontana? And everybody knows that Diamond is playing with Fontana. Fontana might be pregnant, yada, yada, yada. I still don't believe that was real. I think they were acting. But nonetheless, this is what they presented. So we're going to go with this. She leaves. Naked is sitting there. And then Innie is also like, well, since we're talking about relationships, let's bring everybody's relationship to the table. So, of course, she asked Naked about his relationship with his lady, Kaylee. Naked does the naked thing. He dances around the topic, and it actually kind of pisses off his lady. And his lady is just kind of like, no, answer the question. When are you going to marry me? It's been 5 years. Like, what's happening? And I told y'all from the beginning, Naked is on a destination path to nowhere with this lady. And even if he is on a pathway to somewhere with her, all this playing with her emotions back and forth, I think is quite immature. This kind of like dangling the carrot in front of her, I think that that's immature. So let's see where that goes. All right, so we kind of close out that dinner party, and then we have Diamond and Fontana go off to the side. Anybody who's been watching my reviews, my recaps, y'all know I'm not here for this Diamond and Fontana foolishness. Not in the least little bit. So Diamond Fontana move on over to the side. Fontana tells him that she, in fact, is not pregnant. And Diamond has the nerve to look like upset about it. Diamond is delusional. I hate to say it, but Diamond, something is not right. And we didn't see it before because he didn't talk and he wasn't as present in season 1 and season 2. But season 3, Diamond is not okay. Because how are you running around telling everybody that this girl means nothing to you? Now that she's telling you she's not pregnant, now you want to look sad and distraught and all of this kind of stuff. Diamond is clowning. Fontana is dumb. And I don't know what else to say about that situation. And the reason I'm saying dumb is because she's like, well, now you know, if you actually really do want to have a child and it's intentional, we can talk about it. No, you cannot. Girl, you need to run. Run. Fontana is the classic example of a young woman who comes into the industry. Maybe she has talent, maybe she doesn't. That's not for us to judge. But it's like you are making your whole existence center around a man. This is what the older women are saying when they say stop centering men, decenter men. You have talent. You had enough talent to get yourself on this show on Netflix. So why not use it for something that is going to mean something? Why not use it for good? Why use it chasing behind some man who really doesn't mean you no good? So we're going to move on over from Fontana and Diamond in their non-pregnancy at this point. So then we're going over, you have Fontana meeting up with Nadia just to tell Nadia, like, okay, in actuality, I'm not pregnant. Nadia, she gives Nadia some stupid excuse about, well, I didn't want to upset Diamond because if I was pregnant, he was still going to be the father of my children, blah, blah, blah. All of that still equals Fontana is not the brightest. Okay, all of that equals you still sitting up here trying to gaslight your friend into believing something that's not true. Or you trying to gaslight the audience and get us all emotionally invested in some mess y'all done made up. And none of it is true. But nonetheless, hallelujah, she's not pregnant. She's still a little bit slow, but nonetheless, she's not pregnant. Nadia gave her the best advice ever, which is, girl, get on some birth control. We move on over to Zari and Shakib. I keep telling y'all, Shakib, I hope I'm saying his name right. Zari's husband, he is like my favorite person on the show this season. And the reason I like him is because, again, he communicates so well. If you're watching on Instagram or on YouTube, go ahead and drop down in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. You can like the video. It's free. So yeah, Shakib and Zari have a little moment in the car. And again, he's being very clear with his wife as to what is upsetting him. She's trying to throw it off and make it seem like you insecure about Diamond. And he's telling her, no, it's you who are acting a certain way when you are with the father of your children. That's what I don't like. So I'm going to just be real. Sometimes women, we don't want to take full accountability. What we'll do is try to redirect the conversation and make it seem like the man is somehow focused on another man, because you know that's going to play with his ego and he's going to get upset about that. That's not what was happening. Okay, that was not happening. Oh, thanks for watching from Nigeria. That was not happening at all. The issue is Zari. Zari, when you get around Diamond, both of y'all are public figures. So of course, whenever y'all are in the same space, people are going to be watching. Simple as that. They're going to take pictures. They're going to take video. And what your husband is saying is, don't do too much to where the blogs can run around and tell a story. Don't do that. Just keep it, cordial. Yes, everybody knows this is the father of your children, but you don't have to do too much. And that's all he was trying to say. And Zari really was doing a lot. She really needed to apologize, which she'll actually do later. But all of that is giving narcissist. Is giving this. I'm like, That was too much, sis. That was way, way, way too much that you were giving that man in that car. And I didn't like how she kind of sent him into the casino night in a bad mind space. You know he's going to run into your ex there. You know he's going to be there with the other guys. And now you've kind of knocked off his mental before you send him out there. I ain't like that at all. Even though I love Zari on the show, but I just didn't like the way she handled her husband in that moment. Okay, so then, of course, the guys are having this casino night. And I'm gonna say this: the guys on Young, Famous, and African are really outdressing the women this year. Like every time you see the guys meet up for something, they all look good. They all look like they smell good, right? Everybody's moisturized. Everybody has even skin. Everybody's clothes are on point. Shoes are on point. Jewelry is on point. I'm like, the men are really outdoing the women. And then, I'm just saying, ladies, y'all got to step it up because the men are clearly coming through with the fashions, and not just Swanky. All of the men are coming through with the fashions and the looks. So I don't know who's styling them. Maybe Swanky styling them. I don't know, but they look good. So they come on in for the casino night, and of course, Swanky being Swanky, waving the flag for all the women. He addresses Diamond about Fontana and basically says, now that she's not pregnant, please release our sister. And I do agree with Swanky, like, release her, because God knows Fontana ain't got enough common sense that the good Lord gave her to walk away on her own. So Diamond, you're gonna have to release her from your grip hole. Diamond kind of looked like a little gremlin. I didn't want to say it, but he kind of looked like the gremlin from the movie. But he got Fontana in a chokehold. So nonetheless, Swanky's trying to convince him to, give us free for Fontana. Let her go. Because she ain't going to free herself. And what I came to the conclusion from this whole conversation is Diamond and DJ Naked are some F-boys. They are the men that Glorilla was talking about. I'm F-R-E-E-F, free. That's who she was talking about. Because everything that Diamond is doing in relation to Fontana is not correct. Naked is trying to defend Diamond in his incorrectness. And it's like, that's because you really want to do that, but you also don't really want to lose your woman. So you kind of living through Diamond's bachelor days, right? I think DJ Naked has enough sense to know that the lifestyle that Diamond is living is not something he wants for long term. Because remember, he's been divorced twice now. So he wants the security and the comfort of a committed relationship with a woman, but he also likes the partying and the freeness that Diamond has. So he just supporting Diamond in all of his foolishness. Diamond done got up and is massaging his back like, yeah, man, tag in. You go ahead and take it. I'm going to sit back on this one. All of that is just foolishness. And then Diamond, as usual, is having a pissing contest with Luis. And I don't know why Diamond kind of has it out for Luis. I think it's because Luis is attractive. And so Diamond is like, okay, I'm not going to always win the women with my looks, but I can win them with my pocket. I can win them with my talent. I can win them with my charisma. Who's going to always get the women based off looks? It's Luis. So because of that, excuse me, my little thing is beeping. So because of that, every time Luis shows any type of interest in anybody, now all of a sudden Diamond want to be interested in that person. And that's the same thing that has just happened with the new girl, Kafiliwe. So now all of a sudden Diamond has interest in Kafiliwe, and Swanky is sitting there looking like, every time I introduce a woman, that don't mean that you need to to befriend her and basically get her in your bed. Honestly, low-key Swanky is giving Madam, because every time he bring a woman, somebody in the group want to talk to her. So, Diamond has a thing out for Kafiliwe, the new girl. She is definitely beautiful, right? We've already established that. So he invites her out for dinner. She don't really sound like she's feeling it, but I think she's just going to entertain it just to kind of see where it goes. And so before we actually get to them going on the date, Luis sits down with his family. We get more of the backstory on him, his family, and why he really, really desires a child. So as y'all know, Luis is Jehovah's Witness. He's been excommunicated because of his lifestyle as a media personality, everything. The family members that he's meeting with are ones who haven't been baptized yet. So they're just kind of giving him an update on his parents. And then he discloses that he really wanted the surrogacy to have a child because if he brings the children around his parents, they can't deny the child. So that's kind of like his sneaky way of getting back into the graces of his parents. But I don't really know how I feel about that, because I feel like you're putting your child in a position to be like a pawn. Y'all get what I mean? And so then what if his parents are really on some extra stuff and it's like, we don't want nothing to do with you or your child. So then how are you going to feel about your child? Are you still going to want him? Are you not? Are you going to treat him poorly? Like, I don't really know how that's going to go. But nonetheless, that's what he says he wants. So I guess that's what we have to accept. But I don't know about that, Lewis. I think you should sit on that decision a little bit longer to see, like, do I really, really want a child? And am I really ready to have a child? Independent of what my family relationships are and all of that kind of stuff. So we will see. All right, so then we transition to Annie inviting the girls for high tea. Her outfit was gorgeous. That yellow suit with the flowers kind of coming off of it. Her breast was sitting up nice in the suit that kind of cut low. The pink hat. I mean, it definitely was a look. I really believe Swanky is styling everybody. Anytime people come with a good look, I'm just going to attribute it to Swanky. But she looked phenomenal. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so, of course, she's calling Annie because Annie is her hometown girl. Annie lets her know she's not coming. And she kind of tries to go into the gist of why she's in disagreement with everybody, but not so much. So nonetheless, Annie is not going to be there in the physical, but in spirit. So the other girls start to come in. You know, you got Nadia, you have Fontana, you have, you know, all the girls. The girls are coming in. As soon as Zari get there, this is why I love Zari, because she always keeps the mess going, but it's not mess that's like it's gonna cut and hurt your soul. It's just like a little fun shade. You know what I'm saying? So Zari comes in, hugs Fontana, mwah, mwah, and she said, always skimpy. I was like, Zari, you cannot tell that girl she's always skimpy, even though it's the truth. Fontana always come in there half dressed, but you didn't have to say that. Although as a viewer, it was quite entertaining because I'm like, Zari is really like that old but young auntie that everybody like. She's just with it. She's quick. She's witty. She says the funny stuff. It's a little dig here and a little dig there. So that's how she got Fontana. And it was so quick that it kind of knocked Fontana off. She didn't really know how to respond, or she couldn't come back quick enough. That's because Fontana's slow, y'all. I'm convinced that she's slow. But nonetheless, Zari mentions Annie, and she really says that she should leave Two-Face. And if y'all know the recent news, he's saying he gonna leave her now. So I think she should have took Zari's advice really from season 1, because Zari been telling her to leave Tubaba since season 1. But she's like, it's too much. She needs to leave him. And all I'm thinking is tell the truth and shame the devil. Because, and honestly, I think Zari knows something that we all didn't know at the time, which we know now, which is that their relationship is kind of rocky. Okay. And because it's kind of rocky, she, I think, is finding some type of compassion or empathy because she kind of knows the position that Ani is in. Because she even says it. She's like, imagine why I left Diamond. He's all over the place, up, down, left, right, center, all over the place with all these women. She's like, I had to leave him. Similar to Annie. So she basically is seeing herself in Annie, although they have conflict. And she said it in a very flippant way, but I think she's giving her some good advice as much as she can. And we all know that Annie, is you okay is not okay, because now Tubaba is saying he wants a divorce. So, you know, do I want to talk about Kafiliwe and Nadia? I'll say it quickly. Nadia and Kafiliwe meet up. Kafiliwe lets Nadia know she's going to have an issue with Zari. We're going to move on past that because it wasn't long. Luis invites Naked, Naked's, or not Naked. Luis invites Naked's girlfriend Kaylee and Indy for a one-on-one, because his whole thing is like, I really, really, really want to, get to know them outside of the group. Because last year he was like baptized by fire. Everything was a issue with him. And so, you know what it is. Oh, sorry, somebody's calling me, y'all. Give me just a second. I just want to make sure it's not important. Okay, I can come back to it. All right, yeah. So he invites them over. When they come over, I think he also wants to kind of pick Innie's brain, because Innie has had a child through surrogacy. So he asked her about that. He's like, okay, why did you choose surrogacy? And I think at first she wanted to be offended, but then she kind of realized like he really just wants information. So she did explain. And then he also goes into his reasoning, which is like, it's the loneliness. He doesn't have immediate family. It's the loneliness. And I'm going to say this again for Louise. Reevaluate why you want a child, because I don't believe it's healthy for you to only want that child so that you can fill a void within yourself. Because what if you have this child and the child and your personality doesn't mix, and you all are at conflict at some point or another, and that child doesn't fulfill your loneliness? Then what? So I'm just going to ask him to rethink it, and really see if this is something for him that he's really ready to do. So then, of course, I'm actually kind of glad that he was able to talk to her about that, because last year the group really didn't understand where he was coming from. This year, it seems like he has some more people with a softer ear to really kind of understand him. And then Naked's lady, Kaylee, basically she needs to put her foot down, figure out what she wants to do with Naked. All right. Again, I see some new people have joined. Please let me know in the comments on YouTube or Instagram where you're watching from. You can always comment in the chat. Let's have a dialogue since you're watching. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So now the date between Diamond and Kafilwe. I hope I'm saying her name right. But as soon as she walked in, I knew she did not take this thing seriously. Homegirl, because every time we've seen her before, she was dressed to the nines. Okay. Homegirl came in with her natural hair slicked down, a t-shirt, and some pants. So immediately I was like, nah, homegirl is not feeling Diamond, but she just gonna do this. Maybe she wanna film a scene. So Diamond gets to doing his immature stuff. Let me take off my glasses. Let me just kind of talk to you in a low voice. Diamond is lame and he is manipulative. Diamond is the guy that's the can I get a hug in high school that people didn't give a hug to, but he was super talented. So now that he's made it, he want all the women who, in high school who wouldn't talk to him. Now he wants to date them. Now he feels like it's almost like he just assumes that he's going to get access to them. So he's doing his lame dude stuff with her. And she's just sitting there like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, she gave him a little piece of hope when she was like, yeah, I don't date South African men anymore. He's like, good. I'm like, boy, it ain't gonna be you. Even if she's not dating South African men, clearly she's not gonna date you. But nonetheless, he still has hope. And then she actually labels him what it is that is like perfect. When she asked him about Fontana and he starts to say we're just smashing all that kind of stuff, she's like, he's very distasteful. And I'm like, boom, that's the word. Every time people ask him about Fontana, he gets this like, almost like he knows he has her. So he's just whatever. We just smashing. We just this. And it is very distasteful, because even if you are just smashing this lady, there's a way that you can still talk about her that is respectful. But he doesn't do that. And then Kafilwe comes with the boom. You know, when you playing spades, you hit that pow because you know you about to get the book. She came with the draw four in the Uno deck. She came forward and plopped that bad boy on the table. and was like, "Come on in, Fontana. Let me open the door for you, girl. Roll the carpet out." And I was like, what? She done called Fontana into the day. And I was like, that's how you do sisterhood. That's how you, ladies, if you're watching and you know it's a man running game and he eventually is going to cause some friction between you and another woman, he's going to create a triangular situation. Call sis in, give her the heads up, surprise that dude. And that's exactly what Kafiliwe did. And it was a great way to end episode number 5. So shouts out to my South African sis. So that was episode 5. You know, it started with a bang and it ended with a bang. And so we go into episode 6 where checkmate, Kafiliwe has brought in Fontana and she says, I want to hear you tell her in her face what you told me about what you two are, because I have heard that you are dating. And I was like, talk that now, Diamond. Talk it now. Tell her that you just this and she just that. And so, unfortunately for Fontana, again, Diamond embarrasses her and he basically says the same thing. We're smashing. So the reality is the reality, Fontana. You can't run from it no more. You can't say in private, well, he's telling me this, this, and this. Well, now in public, in your face, in the presence of company, he's saying what he's been saying behind your back to everybody else. So this is twice this man done disclaim you, if that's even a word, in front of a group of people. Last season, in front of Zari, and now again in front of Kafiliwe. And so my question is, why does he respect those other women more than he respects you? And he's actually laying down with you. At the time last year when he was going off and left you out to dry with Zari, he wasn't with her. This season, he don't know Kafiliwe from nowhere, but he still has more respect for them than he does you. And that's something you want to look at. And so she knows she got all in her feelings and she's talking about this is, what if I went around telling people you were average? Well, even if he average, you like it because you still there and you still showing up and you still filming with them and you still talking good about him. So even if he is average, you like his averageness. And that's something I do want women to back away from. On Mad Day, now you want to say the man wasn't this, man wasn't that, but he was all of those things and enough of those things, and you still liked it. So I'm gonna pull Fontana's card on that. Like, don't go around trying to act like it wasn't what it was. You clearly like this man. And then again, Diamond is manipulative. He starts, backpedaling the pussy popping, talking in circles around the situation to try to make it lighter than what it was. Fontana really isn't going for it. She's kind of seeing the light. And then Diamond is like, okay, it's too hot up in here. It's getting hot in here, so hot. He's like, I got to go to the bathroom. Diamond went to the bathroom to never return. Okay, Diamond had the door of no return on him. Okay, he left and was like, I'm up out of here. I'm done filming. And eventually the ladies had to get up and follow behind him. I just thought that was classic manipulator. Classic manipulator. But that's Diamond. Okay, so then after that, they pan over to Zari and her husband. She's cooking him breakfast in bed. Why is she doing that? Because she knows she was wrong. She knows she was wrong for how she talked to that man in that car, how she gaslit that man in that car and tried to make it seem like he was insecure when really he was calling her out about her bad behavior with her baby's daddy. Simple as that. She know it. He know it. So now she got to come apologize. So now she cooked him breakfast in bed. She discusses the matter with Diamond again. Now they're getting on the same page. Both of them have now realized that Diamond is the problem. I've been saying that since episode 1. Diamond is the problem. So now they're on the same page. Good. And then Zari gonna lay her head in his lap talking about this is where she want to be. Okay, sis, I bet you do. I bet you do. Okay. And she also tells him that she wants to extend the olive branch to Annie. I think Zari is warming up to the idea of reconciliation. Okay. And I think a lot of it is because she can identify with the position that Annie has found herself in with this man, which is her husband. And I do want to say that, like, I think a lot of us don't talk enough about the origin story of Annie and Tubaba. Annie met him when she was 15 years old. And I do understand that sometimes in the African context, people don't always look at age the same way, but she was a minor. And he's like 7 years or so her senior. So he was 24, she was 15. Basically, he has groomed her. So when we're looking at her and she always has to insert innocence into a sentence and she always wants to reference her relationship, he has groomed her to be that addicted to him. So even when I see stuff online and people are like, Annie is making choices for this and that, she's making the choices based on her conditioning. Her conditioning is she was a 15-year-old girl, turned out by a 24-year-old man, ended up marrying him. And throughout that process, there's been a lot of trauma. There's been a lot of babies. There's been a lot of manipulation, mind games, all of that. So now we have the Annie that we're seeing today. Unstable, unregulated, just nervous system tapped all the way out. I wouldn't even be surprised if down the line Annie formed some type of autoimmune something because of all the stress that's on her body. You can see it. She can't sit still. She literally cannot sit still. She's always biting her nails. She's always moving. She always touching something on her body. My heart really breaks for her. In the next scene, Annie is returning. You know, she had gone off. She had been away for a while. Now she's returning. She's letting everybody know that she was in the hospital. And I'm trying to figure out what was this hospital stay really about, because later Naked also references her being in the hospital / rehab. So I'm like, is Annie suffering from an addiction problem now? What's happening? Is she having mental breaks and they're calling it a rehab space when it's really a mental health facility? What actually was wrong with Annie? Why was she in the hospital? Honestly, I think it's her mental. I think it's her mental that may be manifesting as her physical self, because I don't know. I don't know. It's not good. But nonetheless, she meets up with Annie. First of all, Annie got the best wigs on this whole franchise, okay? Or series. That burgundy that she had mixed with a little bit of the black, and when you look at her edges, the way that stuff was blended in. Come on, Nollywood princess. Her hair is the best wig we done seen all 3 seasons. Best wig. Okay, again, she looks great. Definitely coming through, letting you know, honey, I'm giving you old Nollywood glam. I'm that girl, been that girl, still that girl. And I'm here for it. So she meets with Annie. She tries again to get Annie to a point where she can take some accountability. Annie Bob just a bop, 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 bop. Again, Annie can't keep still. That bob was just that little bun on top of her head was just moving around, dodging accountability. That bob was moving because she was dodging every piece of accountability that Annie was floating her way. It got so bad to the point that Annie looked tired in the conversation. That's how much Annie was taking her around the world and around the carousel. Homegirl was tired by the time she finished that conversation with Annie. And she also knows that Annie is not well. So she was just like, let it go. We will just have that conversation another time. So then again, the guys meet up. It's Naked, Diamond, Luis, and Swanky. They're playing tennis. None of them are athletic. Okay, none of them are athletic, but they're trying. So again, the 2 clowns in the circus, Naked and Diamond, are again reiterating this backwards thinking about male-female relationships. Something else that I picked up: Swanky, Hug, and Diamond. When they were at that casino night, Swanky gets up Diamond in his low voice. I've only heard Diamond in that low voice like that with the women's, but hello, Swanky gets up, hello. Okay, that was number one. Number two, at this tennis match, Swanky gets up and he hugs Diamond, and it was a long hug. I ain't seen none of the men hug Swanky that long or that close. I don't know what it is, but I'm just telling you what my observation was. That's what I observed, so that's what I'm saying. Okay. Swanky hugs Diamond. We're gonna move on. Now, Diamond is going through letting them know what happened with Fontana, blah. Shout out to Ghana because he's like, of course I effed up. You never effed up hands in knee. Yeah, come on, Black Sharif. So Ghana was in the building with the reference. Yes, you did mess up because you were out there trying to play that girl like a soybean burger, and the two girls linked up and let you know what it was. So yeah, you messed up. That's what it is. Naked says that he didn't know he had relationship issues because the other guys bring it up that his girlfriend is like really at her wits end. And I'm thinking, Naked, how you don't know? Because you've been with her 5 years and you haven't married her, and you know that is her heart's desire. So how do you not know that you have relationship issues? You are ignoring them, but they definitely are there. Louis addresses Diamond about his relationship and how he's carrying things out with Zari and her having a new husband. Diamond is insisting that Zari still want her. Diamond is delusional. I keep telling y'all, Diamond is crazy. Diamond thinks that she still wants her, and Diamond is also lying. Diamond, you told Zari's husband that you had text messages of that woman asking you for a baby when they were dating. Now in front of Luis, you're saying, no, I was texting Zari about what she posted online about me that wasn't true. So which one is it? In front of her husband, you trying to make it seem like she want to be with you. In front of Luis, you're making it seem like Zari was online lying about me, so I text her about that. Show the text messages, Diamond. If you can't pull the receipts of that woman telling you she wanted a baby with you, then get off the line. Stop with the lying. Stop with the lying. Stop trying to insert yourself in these people's relationship. It's not cool. It's not cool. It's not cool. Okay, so that again, that is Diamond. That is Diamond telling y'all all this stuff. Okay, so I do see some people who join. Hi, Soror. I see King Frem 1, Miss Ikanim. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Glad to see y'all in the building. Again, if you're watching me on YouTube, please like the video. So Diamond again is on that BS, lying. Naked is still trying to defend Diamond. And again, if I were Kaylee, I would have my good eye out for Naked. I'll be wondering, like, why you so much in line with foolishness? I mean, well, we know why, because he really want to be for the streets, but he also want to be in the house all at the same time. So as we said before, Zari wants to extend the olive branch to Annie. So they meet up. Zari goes to Annie's house. And I think Zari, like I said before, she knows the mental space that Annie is in because look who she was married to, Diamond. So she know. Annie actually does give Zari an apology because she recognizes if people would have said the things about her that she said about Zari on her wedding, she also would have felt some type of way. So that was a great big first step for Annie in taking accountability. Zari forgives her. She even says, honey, I forgave you before you even gave me this apology. And I think because for Zari, a lot of this is just banter with Annie. She don't really got no deep-seated rooted issue with her. And she know the girl batch crazy. So she not really paying her no attention. I will say this, the pop-ups are real because again, somebody is inviting somebody and it's like, boom, I wasn't expecting that person. So Zari has invited Swanky. And now Zarya is being the mediator between Annie and Swanky. And honestly, these two can really get over whatever the issue is if they both just take a little accountability. Annie, you probably was talking a little trash about Swanky. Swanky, in response, you probably talked a little trash about Annie. All of that good stuff. Let it go. And thankfully they did. They did let it go. Swanky and Annie make up. You can tell that they really love each other. And the truth of the matter is, my heart did smile. I definitely smiled when I saw Annie jump up on that couch and hug Swanky, because I'm like, y'all Nigerians, y'all got to stay together. Don't let these South Africans and East Africans separate you guys. Stick together. So they move on to Naked and his lady doing a Netflix and chill. Again, Naked is playing in that lady place, and I think it's time for her to go ahead and get that other apartment. We ain't gonna spend too much time on Naked and his lady no more. And then we end with the bang. Annie's apology tour. That's what I'm gonna call it. She's already apologized to Zari and Swanky and got them back on a good foot. Now Naked has set up this meeting by false pretenses for Nadia, because everybody else who was there knew that Annie was gonna be there and they were okay with Annie. So when they're saying everybody, is not everybody in conflict, it's just Annie, because she has already made up with everybody else who is there. But something I peeped, and this when I said the Three Stooges, and then Naked called them Twiddledee and Twiddledum, Nadia and Fontana. Fontana comes into the event, and I don't even understand why she's giving Annie smoke. Annie has never done anything to you. The only time you've had a personal conversation with Annie on camera is when you sat down and she was telling you about her relationship with Swanky in like episode 1. So why are you throwing little shots and digs and dabs at Annie? It's giving bird brain. It's giving follower. So because Nadia's mad, Fontana's mad when this woman hasn't done anything to you. Okay, we're going to move forward. So again, I had the question, what was really wrong with Annie? Because Naked is talking about recovery. Recovery from what? Is Annie on something? Rightfully so, we will understand she's had a miscarriage. Her marriage is going up and down. She's losing a lot of friendships. So I could understand it, but I need y'all to speak clearly. What is happening with our sister? And then really, Nadia is working herself up, because nobody in the party is giving off negative energy except Nadia. Nadia is there on this high supreme horse talking about what Annie has done to her. The only thing Annie did was give Nadia a straight bullet at the wedding when she was like, you took Swanky's side without even really hearing my side. And she called her a few names. That was not enough for Nadia to be doing all of this at this party. Nadia got misplaced anger. Nadia is still grieving the death of her boyfriend, aka, and now she wants to put all of that energy into Annie. You don't even really know Annie. That's what you said at the wedding. So why are you giving her this much energy of upsetness for somebody you don't really know, and somebody who just told you, like, I'm mad that you took sides when you didn't really know me? Girl, calm down. Let it go. Get you some therapy and some help, because that was too much. And the highlight of the day, Annie's wig was lifted up in the back. Whoever's doing the wigs for the women outside of Annie, y'all need to be fired, because they could have hit cut and glued the back of Annie's wig back down, because that just added to the whole visual of this whole situation not being correct. And so again, Annie, I didn't even really get her, because you're trying to mediate, but you also seem to have a little bit of hostility. Like, I don't really know what that was about. And Fontana is in the background co-signing Nadia. And I'm just like, what is your problem? Y'all, please, next season, let Fontana go. Because it's giving little girl, it's giving follower, it's giving I don't have a brain of my own, it's giving I want to be a fool for a man, it's giving I just want to waste my opportunity. I just feel like we had high hopes for her, and she keeps disappointing us at every turn. And so I don't know. That's where we left off with episode 6. So I'm going to come to y'all tomorrow with episode 7 and episode 8. Of course, things heat up in episode 7. I ain't going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to join me tomorrow to figure out what that is. But nonetheless, I love Young, Famous, and African. I hope you all have been enjoying my reviews and my recaps. If you're on Instagram and you are watching me, go on over to YouTube. Nzali Takes Africa, like the videos there, subscribe to the channel, and share my reviews. This one will be posted under lives. If you're watching me on YouTube and you are not familiar with my Instagram, go on over. I am at Nzali Takes Africa. Make sure that you follow me there. And I would love to hear you all's feedback. So let's get in the comments. Did y'all feel how I felt about Nadia? Like, sis, I need you to let it go. I need you to relax, relate, release. Relax, relate, release. Are y'all okay with people, offering Annie up some grace? Because clearly people know more than what is being presented on this show. And now, fast forward, we really know that there's more than what's being provided on the show. So let me know how y'all felt, what y'all was thinking. Until the next time, peace out and bye, y'all. Take care. Thank y'all for watching.
We know they like small things. Because we know they hear what now. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh, more cash, more babes, oh, more cars. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh, more cash, more babes, oh, more cars. And every shine light.